encourages us to ask the questions that I really wanted to ask. Like how the genesis of some of the songs, like Own Light, how did that come about? And then Dear Black Son, kind of some background and commentary about that.
So I was talking about Dear Black Son. I've made songs. My son is now 18, and he's been with me. I've had custody of him his whole life, and I've always written these songs directly to him. And the most recent one, I actually wrote it when he was around 14, and I started to realize that my baby wasn't being looked at or perceived in the world as somebody's baby. At that time we were living in Oakland, and I went to school in Berkeley. The town, okay, blood, all right, cousin. For the Southern California blood and cousin doesn't mean what it means here. Sorry. So we're living in Oakland, we go to school. I went to school in Berkeley, and I brought him with me every day. So a lot of times we would walk. Like we'd take BART, sometimes we did Uber, but on nice days we'll walk. And I would notice, like, this is a 14-year-old boy who to me is still very much my baby. As we would, and when we were in Oakland, walking through Oakland, people are speaking to us, and it was like so normal, natural, just like, hey, how you doing? You know, talk to me as an adult, and then talk to him like, hey son, da 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 da. You know, and he's yes sir, yes ma'am. As we start to get to Berkeley, it starts to change to where some people are negotiating him, and they're aware of their sexual desire for him. Which is like, this is a 14-year-old boy who to them is a man now, like overnight. He goes from being my baby to being a black man. And then other people are thinking about their safety and negotiating their safety with him, which is dangerous. Forgive me again for talking about things in your presence you know better than I do. And so, songs like this one, and also I have a song about the women in my life, my most beloved women who have experienced sexual violence. Really all of the women in my life, I don't know of one who hasn't on some level. I don't know one. It's like, okay, these are the things going on in my life, so I have to write a song about them. But how corny is it to write a song like in third person about somebody suffering with something, like you're going through something. You know what I mean? She was the so-and-so, and then she da-da-da, and then she da-da-da. But it's me projecting my experience on her. It's like, it's not her saying it. So it's like, okay, how do you write this song? You write it from the first person experience of loving them. So it's still my experience. So like, it's still like, let me stay in my reality and write a song about it, you know. And so the song I wrote says, Dear Black Son, there's people you've never met who fear and hate you for something that you never did. And these people are so self-convinced, sometimes they pull the trigger, call it self-defense. And in that sad insanity, their fear is realer to them than your humanity. But that's their problem, it's not yours. Listen to your pop for a second. These are the confessions of a father broken-hearted who don't know how to pull his only son out of a target. They lied when they said it was the bottom where you started. You were a king long before the ships departed. You are not defined by anybody else's crimes. You are not to answer for what happens in their minds. You are not confined in their imaginary lines. And you don't need permission to exist with the divine. In fact, you don't need permission from no one, including me. You need not do anything but be. Just breathe. Whatever you dream, let it mean you're free. Tears on your cheek never made nobody weak. Sometimes you gotta grieve, let it burn, let it bleed, then let yourself heal. Pray to God that it will. You have a spirit that a bullet can't kill. That doesn't make it any less real. They say it takes a man to raise a man. You're slipping through my hands like grains of sand. And here I stand, trying to wrestle with the hourglass. Maybe see how long I can make an hour last. Raising a man who's slipping through my hands like grains of sand. And here I stand, trying to wrestle with the hourglass. Maybe see how long I can make an hour last. Dear Black Son, I can't protect you like I want to. I never judge you, all that I can do is love you. That's all anyone can ever do is love you. All I can do is wonder how could anyone not love you? They recognize divine in you, so they try to find themselves by defining you. They're living in this myth that they don't want to lose, and now they're too terrified to face your kind of truth. But every single time a shine is proof that they might have threw their chain around your body, never conquered you. They don't always honor you, but they love your culture. You already know how to move when the law approach you, when the dogs approach you. It's best to keep your hands where they can see them. Try to understand that you're not even what they're peeping. They don't see a sweet kid that loves his little sister. Their minds are seeing 500 years of pictures. In fact, they don't visualize a kid, they see grown man imagery, mythic masculinity. But you are not their fetishes or fears, nor my ambitions and tears. Nothing can interfere. We gotta trust our seeds once we sow them. We hold them when they're growing, but we never really own them. We love up on them and play with them, pray for them, and cling very closely to the moments. They say it takes a man to raise a man. You're slipping through my hands like grains of sand, and here I stand, trying to wrestle with the hourglass. Maybe see how long I can make an hour last, dear black son.